The scenario for this video will be the medic stabilizes the unconscious soldier and calls for a medevac to the Kandahar NATO Med Trauma Unit and saves the information to an NFC tag, which he then attaches to the patient and waits for evac. So to begin, we're going to log in as our provider again. So we'll select our provider from the list. We'll enter his PIN. We'll hit login. We will switch the patients to our unconscious Marine, Martin Lopez. We'll hit set patient as current. From there, we'll hit new encounter. From there, we're going to hit injury. So the first injury we want to add is the concussion. So injury type case, battle injury. Injury type, we're going to go head. Specific problem, concussion. Severity, let's go large swelling. We'll hit on the head. We'll go down and we'll hit the cause and we'll hit save. From there, we want to do the shrapnel wound. So same type case. The injury type will be a wound. Shrapnel. So the specific problem will be shrapnel. The severity will be a penetrating. We'll select the upper right chest. We'll go down, select the cause, hit save, go back up. Now the third injury is going to be the gunshot wound. We'll go same type case. The injury type will be wound. Specific problem will be gunshot. The severity will be through and through. And we'll select upper right thigh, or excuse me, the lower right leg. And then we'll select the cause. We'll hit save injury case. Then we can see we have our injuries all saved. From there, we'll go to the vitals. He's unconscious, so we're not going to get a pain value. We'll set him as unresponsive. We'll set the pulse as 97. We'll set the respiration as 4. The O2 as 97. We'll skip the temperature, weight, and height, and we'll go to the systolic. And we'll set that as 96, and the diastolic, we'll set that as 78. We'll hit add vitals. From there, we'll hit treatment. And for treatment, we're going to add hemostatic and pressure dressing. From there, we'll hit meds and fluids. We're going to add a fluid. IO, the type of fluid will be the Hextend 500 milliliter. We'll hit add fluid. We'll go to Glasgow. We're going to skip over Glasgow for now. We'll hit save encounter. As you can see, again, we have our SOAP notes. So 33-year-old male presents with battle injury. He was unconscious, so we didn't get a pain scale. We have our timestamp for the injury. We have our concussion. We have our shrapnel wound to the chest. We have our gunshot wound to the lower right leg. And then we have the vitals that we took right here. And then we have the applicable ICD-10 codes. And then we have the instructions: stabilize the head and spine with a cervical collar and spine board, dress wound, control bleeding, clean wound, apply dressing, pain meds as needed, apply direct pressure, control bleeding, clean wound. We have the fluid that or the medicine that we're administering, so the Hextend 500 milliliter, given that timestamp. And then, so for circulation, we have our hemostatic and our pressure dressing. And again, below we have our provider. We hit sign and save. And again, the provider needs to enter their PIN in order to officially sign and save the encounter. From there, now that we have the encounter documented, we're going to save it onto an NFC tag, which we have right here. let's go to patients. We'll select our patient. We'll select share via NFC. We can do device-to-device NFC communication, but today we're going to be writing to the tag. So we're going to hit tag. We'll lift up the phone. We'll take our tag. We'll stick it to the bottom. And as you can see, it's been successfully written to the tag. So I'm going to double check I have GPS enabled. I do, good. We'll hit Get GPS. We'll allow the operating system to share the device's location. And that might take a moment. Oh, there it goes. And then we'll fill out a radio frequency, call sign example, number of patients. So urgent surgery, I hit add. Special equipment, let's say hoist. Number of patients by type, let's add a litter. Security of the site, there are troops in the area since we just had small arms fire and a IED explode. We'll select smoke screen, we'll say military. We can send requests, and this will bring up the script for the medevac. We'll close, we'll hit save. And that saves the medevac request. So then the provider, now that we have the encounter documented, saved to the tag, and the medevac request completed, he can use that to send through the radio for the medevac request. Welcome back, everyone. The scenario for this video will be the medevac arrives and extracts the unconscious patient. While en route to the Kandahar Medical Unit, the in-flight medic reads the tag and documents a new encounter with updated vitals, fluids, treatment, and medications, and then uploads the patient's information to the Kandahar Med Unit so the trauma team can prepare the equipment and room for surgery. So to begin, we're going to sign in as our in-flight medic. We'll enter her PIN, hit login. We're going to take our tag that we used to save Martin Lopez's data to, stick it at the back of the phone. As you can see, it has read the tag, and we have our patient Martin Lopez and the one encounter that came with him. We'll accept. From there, we'll go into patients. We'll click on Martin Lopez. We'll set him as the current patient. As you can see, we have the other encounter that we documented. So we have his 3 injuries, the gunshot wound, the shrapnel wound, and the concussion. So while in flight, we're going to add a new encounter. Go to vitals. He's still unconscious. We'll say the pulse went up a little bit. Respiration still 4. The O2 is 70 or 98. We'll skip over temperature, weight, and height. The systolic we'll say is about 100 over 78. We'll hit add vitals. We'll hit treatment. We'll go down to pressure dressing. We'll hit meds and fluids. We're going to add 1 fluid, the Hexton 500 milliliter. We'll hit add fluid. We'll go over to Glasgow. We'll skip over Glasgow. We'll hit sign and save. Notes are fairly small on this one. So 33-year-old male, no pain, no pain scale recorded. Time of encounter at the timestamp. We have our new vitals, and we have the new fluid that we administered, plus our pressure dressing and the provider at the bottom. We'll hit sign and save. We'll enter her PIN. Sign and save. From here, we're going to send the data over to the Kandahar Med Unit, which we're already configured to talk to. So we'll go over to patients. We'll hit upload patient data, and we'll see it's been successfully uploaded to the Kandahar Med Unit. So then from here, since the encounter has been sent over to the Kandahar Med Unit into their OpenAlta instance, they can now view all the details from the point of injury to the in-flight encounter, They can add their own diagnosis and treatments to the patient's medical record, and like we said in the beginning, they will prepare the necessary personnel and equipment in order to apply care and assist Martin Lopez when he arrives at the forward operating base.